Welcome to Rooted Real. Today, we're diving into the daily grind. How do you practically represent Christ when you hit the office, not just the pews? For many, Monday can feel like a spiritual speed bump.
Right, John. It's easy to feel pumped after church, but keeping that faith fire burning at work is tough. I mean, we're not exactly singing worship songs at the morning meeting, are we?
Not unless you want HR involved. Seriously though, I think a lot of us struggle to blend our faith with our professional personas. It feels like we need a secret handshake for Christian employees.
Exactly. And sometimes there's this fear. Will I come off as preachy or weird? So, we end up compartmentalizing faith like it's a weekend-only thing. But faith isn't a light switch.
Let's get practical. What does representing Christ look like on the job? Is it about quoting Bible verses, or is there more to it?
Great question. Representing Christ goes deeper than decor on your desk. Statistically, the Barna Group found only 19% of Christians feel their faith strongly impacts their work. That's a gap.
Wow, so most of us are missing the mark. Would you say it's more about behavior than bold declarations?
Absolutely. Like you said earlier, it's about quiet consistency, your attitude, your work ethic, how you treat people. That's the gospel in motion.
Let's be real sometimes. Faith at work gets tested. Ever had a moment where you struggled to live out your beliefs in the office jungle?
Oh, all the time. I had a boss who seemed to have a PhD in pushing my buttons. It felt like spiritual CrossFit my patients got a workout.
I love that spiritual CrossFit. It's those daily reps of grace and restraint that build real strength. Did you ever feel like just snapping back?
Honestly, yes, but that's when I remembered Colossians 3:23. It's not about my comfort, it's about who I ultimately report to God.
Our coworkers notice more than we think. Ever had someone call you out positively or negatively for your faith?
Definitely. Once, a coworker said, "Aren't Christians supposed to be calm? Why you so mad?" It stung, but it was a wake-up call. People are watching, whether we realize it or not.
That's humbling. Our reputation as believers can be built or broken by our reactions. Studies show workplace culture is shaped 70% by employee behavior, not official policies.
Exactly. So when we show integrity, patience, or kindness, it's contagious. One act can shift the whole atmosphere.
Let's talk about subtlety. Is it ever appropriate to openly share your beliefs, or is quiet consistency a more effective strategy?
It's about timing and relationship. You don't have to be the office preacher, but you can let your actions speak. A Harvard study found that modeling positive values increases influence by 50%.
So you're saying it's not about how often you talk about faith, but how often you live it out.
Exactly. If you're helpful, honest, and consistent, people notice. Then when faith conversations do come up, your credibility's already built.
Let's get actionable. What are 3 habits listeners can start tomorrow to represent Christ at work?
First, start your day with prayer even 2 minutes in your car. Invite God into your work. Second, commit to integrity, especially when nobody's watching. Third, look for ways to serve, maybe cover a shift, or just listen.
Love that. It's not about grand gestures, but small, daily faithfulness. Kind of like compound interest little deposits that add up over time.
Exactly. And don't forget to anchor it all in scripture like sticking Colossians 3:23 on your desk or phone, a daily reminder of who you're really working for.
Let's play out a scenario. Suppose your boss asks you to fudge numbers on a report. How should a Christian respond without causing a scene or losing their job?
That's tough, but integrity's non-negotiable. You could say, "I'm not comfortable with that, but I'm happy to help find another solution." It's about firmness with respect.
What if the pressure keeps mounting? Ever think it's worth switching jobs for the sake of your faith?
Sometimes, yes. Data shows 37% of employees have left a job over ethical conflicts. Your witness is more valuable than a paycheck.
Let's talk balance. How do you pursue excellence at work without tipping into pride or burnout?
Great question. Excellence is about giving your best as worship, not as a means for validation. It's Colossians 3:23 in action working for God, not just for the applause.
So, humility means recognizing God as the source of our skills while still aiming high?
Absolutely. Excellence rooted in humility is magnetic. It draws people in and points them to the source, not just the worker.
We all have that one coworker who tests us. Any advice for loving the unlovable at work?
Start by praying for thee. It's hard to stay angry when you're asking God to bless someone. Also, set healthy boundaries. Grace doesn't mean being a doormat.
That's good. Studies show that 85% of workplace conflict is due to misunderstandings. Sometimes a little empathy goes a long way.
Exactly. When you respond with patience and respect, you model Christ. It might not change them overnight, but it will impact the culture.
Big picture, what kind of legacy should Christians aim to leave in the workplace?
I'd say a legacy of faithfulness and integrity. You want people to remember you as someone who was dependable, compassionate, and real, not just the religious one.
That's powerful. Ultimately, our careers are a platform for influence, not just income. Any final thoughts for our listeners as we wrap up?
Stay rooted in your faith, keep it real with those around you, and remember your daily actions preach louder than any sermon you'll ever give.